sports and become an advisor to Urban Meyer and still be on TV. He's back in North Florida, baby. Welcome back, everyone, into Hall of Trivia on HQ. That's our sports and fantasy themed show. It's sponsored by the Hall of Fantasy League and the Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company. Thank you for that. My name is Jeff Eisenband, and I will be your Marv Albert tonight. Yes, we will be asking you about general sports and fantasy questions. Don't break character. Until now. First, let's head over to the Start Sit Fantasy Pick'em pool. Each week we give you 2 or more players from a specific sport. You pick the player who will have more fantasy points that game, that week, depends what we're saying. Get the most wins by the end of the contest, and you and whoever is left will split the grand prize of $10,000. 10K. 1, 4 zeros. Okay? Chipper Jones and 3 zeros. I think he was 10. Could be wrong. Last week we gave you the last 2 NBA Finals MVPs, LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard, but LeBron ended up sitting out with an injury. So congrats to the Kawhi Hive on your victory. Tonight, let's go back to the Diamond for a great AL West matchup between the Angels and Astros. It's Shohei Ohtani on the mound against Lance McCullers Jr. Who will have more fantasy points? And only pitching stats count, people, in this case. Ohtani or McCullers. Look, everyone's jumping on Shohei Ohtani's bandwagon, but Lance McCullers, really solid pitcher for the Astros. Are you going to zig when people zag? Or zig when others? You know what I'm saying. Oh, Ohtani 57%. I thought it was going to be more. I got a soft into Shohei Ohtani last week. He's an Angels fan now. He's staying up late to watch the Anaheim games. He's got the whole TV package. At Hall of Trivia here, by the way, we are sponsored by the Hall of Fantasy League, which is now open for staking. Oh yeah, that's right. The league includes 10 fantasy football teams representing 10 different cities in the United States, and you, the fans, will be able to stake your money, your cold, hard-earned money, on the teams. And if the team you invest in wins, you will end the season with some extra cash in your pocket. Folks, the days of no one caring about your fantasy team are over. To learn more, visit thehofl.com. today. It's too late. All right, now let's do that trivia. I'm going to ask you 12 questions about sports and fantasy. If you get all the questions right, you and whoever is left will split the prize pot of $2,500. That would be nice. And please, no performance enhancers, even if it's, some sort of ointment that Bob Baffert told you was okay and you're a horse. Don't do it. Q1. What name is associated with the NHL's championship trophy? Lombardi, Jeff, or Stanley? I'll tell you what, one of those names is definitely better than the other. Asaf. I'm feeling one. You can't figure it out back there. There's Lord Stanley, and that's Lord Stanley to you, not Lord Joffrey. Lord Stanley's Cup might be the most revered championship trophy in all of North American sports, maybe the world. It's not the Jeff Cup. So many people have also drank beer and bathed their children out of the Stanley Cup. What a beautiful item to be given after winning a championship. 13,596 of you are still playing for Q2, which is, before John Means, who was the last Orioles pitcher to throw a no-hitter in 1969? Jim Palmer, Steve Barber, or Cal Ripken Sr.? Orioles in 1969. It's been a few decades since Orioles fans had something to cheer about. But last week, John Means gave them some joy with a no-hitter. It's a feeling that only a few fans can remember if they were around for Jim Palmer in 1969. It's against the A's, 4 days off the DL for Palmer. Orioles won World Series after this, just saying. 11,213 of you got that one right. A couple people went with Steve Barber. Interesting. Q3. What is the only women's soccer team to finish top 3 at every World Cup? The United States, Japan, or Brazil? USA, Japan, or Brazil? We spell it with a Z here in the US. Sorry to the Portuguese speakers out there. I know it's an S on the uniform. Since the Women's World Cup began in 1991, it's the U.S. that has been the dominant nation. 4 titles, 1 runner-up, 3 third-place finishes. Are you kidding me? No one can stop this team. 10,173 of you not being stopped. That's not to mention, by the way, 4 Olympic gold medals also for the USWNT. U.S. men, Asaf, have they won the World Cup before? No, they have not. I believe the best finish was the first ever World Cup for the U.S. I think, in Uruguay. You can look it up. That's not a question. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying. Q4. Which of these animals was not allegedly in the Mets clubhouse last week? Rat, raccoon, or rabbit? In the Mets clubhouse at Citi Field. You gotta think, don't think, what is native to New York City. Because, listen, did this really happen? I don't know, but let's say it did. There was commotion in the Mets dugout last week, and Francisco Lindor says he thought he saw a rat. Jeff McNeil says he thought he saw a raccoon. There was no rabbit, though. In this alleged tale, it's probably not real, as the story keeps changing, and maybe a rabbit will be added. But for the time being, there was no fight between Lindor and McNeil. They were just arguing over a rat and a raccoon, not a rabbit. 9,901 of you knew that. Q5. Which of these teams has never signed Tim Tebow? The Dolphins, the Patriots, or the Jaguars? Tim Tebow. And the Mets are not on the list, but we could have added, this is basically another Mets question. It feels like Tim Tebow is just a Florida man all around, but his latest move to the Jaguars is his first signing to an NFL team in Florida. He's never signed with the Dolphins. Of course, he played for the University of Florida Gators. He did play in the 2013 preseason with the New England Patriots. And Bill Belichick said, all right, fun having you. See ya. You're done. 8 years later, here we are, folks. Q6. Who is the oldest player in NBA history to record a triple-double? Karl Malone, Russell Westbrook, or Vince Carter? Well, the only man to put up a triple-double in his 40s is the mailman, Karl Malone. He delivered in a Lakers uniform in the 2003 to 2004 season. Yeah, he was a Laker, very briefly. Russell Westbrook is 32, so he'll have to keep grinding it out for another 8 years if he wants to set another triple-double record. Ooh, this one is a fun one here, Asaf. By the way, congrats to Russell Westbrook, who is now the NBA's king of triple-doubles, passing Oscar Robertson. But Karl Malone did it at age 40. Russell Westbrook's 32. All right, we got a cut down here halfway through the game. We're going to take a quick break for the halftime tweet and greet, but people might be walking out of here with a fat wallet based on that Q6. I asked you on Twitter, what is one sports venue you want to visit that you haven't been to before? You can't fake this one. This is really something you haven't been to. We had some great answers, but these were some of my favorites. Kerbo1123 said the Rose Bowl, preferably on New Year's Day at sunset. That is the most picturesque, beautiful image in sports. That's a great call. Very Stable G, Oakland Coliseum, too soon. Yes, Very stable, G. That's an unstable comment. Not fair to the people in Oakland. Keep the A's in Oakland. They did not deserve that. All right, Q7. Which player is not in the top 10 in both steals and home runs this year? Shohei Ohtani, Ronald Acuna, or Javi Baez? We're just throwing Shohei at you at all angles today. The fact that Ohtani is in the top 10 in both of those and pitching is just insane. Javi Baez, he's all or nothing. If he gets on, he's off and running. Acuna is on the cusp, but just outside the top 10 in steals. That might be a surprising one. And it is. It is a sacked question. I almost got to look this up to make sure. I got to fact check our team here. But this is the deal with Ronald Acuna Jr. He's just outside in steals. He's the top fantasy player right now. I feel bad. I usually get so excited for a sacked question, but this one's so real, I almost feel like it needs to be fact-checked again. Our writer, Kevin, not to call him out, he's a Chicago guy, so I don't think he's getting this one wrong. Q8. What team was fined for calling the NHL's Department of Player Safety Director unfit for the job? Washington Capitals, New York Rangers, or Toronto Maple Leafs? Oh boy. Well, I mentioned our writer, Kevin, and he came up with this question. And let me just say this. I sometimes contribute to MSG Networks, the Rangers channel, so I have no comment on this. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Although that's an ironic way to put it, because Rangers is the answer. They were the ones who were fined. 3,848. I can't wait to get to the end of this game to fact check that Acuna question. I hope people in the comments aren't like, you guys are wrong. Like that question is so real that this is where we're at. We're at Q9. Which of these teams is not competing in the UEFA Champions League final? Manchester City, Real Madrid, or Chelsea? We're going across the pond for this question. The Champions League final is an all-England affair between Man City and Chelsea, so naturally, they're playing the final in Istanbul, Turkey. Real Madrid played in 3 straight from 2016 to 18, but they haven't been back since. And guess what? Remember that guy we talked about last week or the week before, Cristiano Ronaldo? You know, the one that was named after Ronald Reagan? They haven't made it since he left. He can always... Yeah, listen, Saf is... they got knocked out by Porto this year? With Ronaldo. Okay. They also won a lot. Q10. Besides Babe Ruth, and there he is again, Shohei Ohtani, who is the only player to pitch while leading MLB in home runs? Jimmy Fox, Lou Gehrig, or Hank Greenberg? More baseball. Only 3 people have thrown a pitch while leading the league in home runs. The Babe and Shohei Ohtani. And very briefly, Jimmy Fox. In 1939, he threw 1 scoreless inning in a year he finished as the MVP runner-up. That's crazy. The guy can act, he can sing, he could do impressions, comedy, and now this? Oh, Jimmy Fox. Oh, all right. 1,791. A lot of people thought maybe Lou Gehrig got on the hill. No one was feeling Hank Greenberg. Q11. According to betting lines, which of these teams was the biggest underdog to win the NBA title? The 2004 Pistons, the 2016 Cavaliers, or the 2011 Mavericks? The 2016 Cavs went up against the best regular season team of all time in the Warriors, but they had LeBron James, arguably the best player of all time. So they weren't as big underdogs as the 2004 Pistons, who at plus 400, that means you bet 100 to make 400, beat a Lakers team that had Shaq, Kobe, Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Phil Jackson, you name it. Everyone. They probably had Magic Johnson, Jerry West in there too, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I don't know, Wilt. But the Pistons beat them. Shoutout Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups. All right, it is now time for the final question. I want to see the Mariano Rivera's out there, the Robert Ory's. Let's knock down this last shot. Let's finish it. Q12. Who was the only player to win WNBA Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season? Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, or Elena Delle Donne? Rookie of the Year and MVP. So it's got to be your first year in the same season. All 3 of these legends are on their way to the Hall of Fame, but only one became the league's best player right away. For Taurasi, it took 6 years to win MVP. For Deladon, it took 3. But Candace Parker, she did it in year 1 right out of Tennessee. And that is our answer. 1,199 of you said Candace Parker. And that makes you our winners! All right. Are you laughing back there at Asaf and me or comments? What are the people? I put a smile on your face. That's all I can do. I'll put a smile on everyone who said Candace Parker, like Tox3 gets $2.09. Tony Stark was playing tonight. Congrats on that. Yadav, Rainfall, you look a lot like my friend Matt. You $2.08. What son? 55. Huck Laster, Sophia, 4444444. Av Biden, Byruk, Marco Duera, William Shee, Roman, 545. C Tom, nice job. Harp Note. How about Oya Kanha? Who else we got? Jison Will, Zacharilli. Nice job, everyone. You are our winners, and you didn't even need that ointment I mentioned at the beginning. You did it. You ran around this game, and you won some money playing Hall of Trivia. Congratulations. This is fun. We're having a great time out here. We play Hall of Trivia every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have a ton of great sports games coming. So for more news and information on the Hall of Trivia, follow us on social at HQ Sports and at the HOF League. That's where you'll find more information. And as always, a special thanks to our sponsors, the Hall of Fantasy League and the Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company. You guys are the best. And you guys are the best out there watching. I've been your host, Jeff Eisenband. Until next time, have the best fantasy version of your week. Finish your last lap. Finish your forecheck. Hit home runs. Score touchdowns. Get baskets. Hit three-pointers. Dunks. Throwdowns. Do whatever you can to score. Just don't get vultured. I'll see you soon.